Diplomats from France, Germany and the European Union will push for more funding for Sudan. Do we know how they plan to do this, as well as France's expectation of the conference?
Well, France's expectation of the conference is to try to move this crisis back up the international agenda, with the spokesman for the French Foreign Ministry saying we cannot let Sudan become a forgotten crisis. So they're going to try to use this conference to increase international awareness and increase the number of donations in terms of the humanitarian response for Sudan. Only some 5% of the $4 billion target in the United Nations' latest humanitarian appeal has been funded so far this year. And so France, along with its co-host Germany and the European Union, will be pressing international actors, representatives from different governments and different humanitarian organisations, to come together to increase the donations for Sudan.
Naba, coming to you, Sudan's military has been opposed to this conference. What are the reasons behind their opposition, and what are people's reaction to this humanitarian conference in France?
Actually, Tinina, the Sudanese military and the Sudanese government represented in the foreign ministry are rejecting this conference, saying that they were not invited and they were not represented in this important conference, and they were overcome by France and Germany, and the international blocs overcame the Sudanese government without consulting them or inviting them. So this is the main reason. The second reason, saying that the international blocs and many countries, Western countries, are right now dealing with the RSF and the Sudanese military as one body. They are not criminalizing the RSF or accusing them. So they think this conference has also political agendas, not only humanitarian agendas. So this is the main reasons, is for them is they were not invited, and of course they think that this conference has its own political agendas. But regarding the public, people are feeling feeling that they are optimistic, and they think this conference will help millions of people, and of course will help in aid delivery for millions of people in dire need in different regions in Sudan. So public are very happy with this conference, but the government and the military, they are rejecting it.
Okay, so now, but let's look at the situation as it is right now. What is the latest on fighting and the general security and humanitarian situation across Sudan?
Actually, Tirina, the situation remains very fragile in different places in Sudan and different fronts. Fighting rages on in central Sudan, Al Jazeera State, in White Nile, in Sinnar. Right now, the RSF are trying to gain new cities. Of course, it's also very hot in Khartoum, and of course, Al Fashir city, one of the main cities that the RSF is trying to seize. So right now, while I'm speaking to you, there is many conflict fronts. Right now, fierce clashes is going on in 60% of the Sudanese lands. Day and night, people are suffering from a very bad humanitarian situation due to the escalation and the fierce clashes. The RSF is trying to attack new cities and new regions, and the military is defending those cities and also attacking many regions, including the capital Khartoum, Darfur and Kordofan. The situation is very bad. The humanitarian situation is very bad due to the unsafe humanitarian passages and to the escalation on the ground, and to the ceasefire that the two warring parties are not adhering to it.
All right, so Ross, let me come back to you. French President Emmanuel Macron is expected to meet with the EU's High Representative and Vice President Josep Borrell, and as well the Commissioner for Crisis Management, Yannick Lenachich, at the end of this conference. What is on the agenda for this meeting?
Well, unfortunately, they've tried to ensure that one of the main aims for this conference is to increase that international awareness about Sudan, but it's very likely that Emmanuel Macron, along with meeting Commissioner Lenachich and also the High Representative for Foreign Affairs for the European Union, Josep Borrell are likely to discuss also the latest on the Iran-Israel crisis when the three men do come together. In terms of Sudan, they will want to discuss with meeting with actors from civil society in Sudan and trying to work out a path forward to ensure that this does not just become a flash in the pan, a one-day conference, a one-off chance to get Sudan back in the spotlight, that they are committed not only to continuing the flow of donations, but continuing the awareness of the grave humanitarian crisis that is unfolding in Sudan and in neighbouring countries.